Sometimes I wonder if you can get
Juice.
from a potato. I'm thirsty.
Nickelodeon.
If you grew up in the 1980s, 1990s, or early 2000s, you most likely tuned in to the popular and well-liked TV program Nickelodeon, viewing shows like All That, The Amanda Bynes Show, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Victorious, or even Sam and Cat. Although every company has its dark sides, and as recently we have seen the ugly, disgusting, and downright predatory behaviors of Nickelodeon and the workers within it. Our story truly begins with the start of the TV series All That, casting multiple kids on an SNL-type broadcast for children, directed by Dan Schneider. All That was a massive success for Nickelodeon, casting tons of kids to start their acting career. All That indeed did push boundaries, but at this time, the jokes flew over the heads of children. But this sets the stage for Dan Schneider's interesting bits, jokes, and scenes with comedy almost directed towards adults. On the topic of adults, that brings me to our first big question. Where were the children's parents? Well, the corporation and Dan wanted parents to not interfere with the children's day-to-day tasks. If parents got in the way, Dan would put you aside and focus on other kids that don't have parents standing in Dan's way. If there is no parent, Dan is in control. And our first major viewing of Control is with Amanda Bynes.
Dan and Amanda had a close relationship, and I didn't think anything different than that. The hot tub scene, though, I thought was always a little odd.
Amanda's jacuzzi was a recurring sketch on The Amanda Show.
The Amanda Bynes Show. During the filming of each episode, Amanda would spend almost, if not all her time, with Dan. Again, another one of Dan's hidden inside jokes appears with the name of a character, Amanda Taint.
Hey, get back in line!
Sir, apparently you don't realize who I am, please. My name is Penelope Tate. I just happen to be Amanda's #1 fan, please.
The Amanda Bynes Show was a huge success, but after a few seasons, Amanda grew older and wanted to venture on to new things. Dan would try to help with her new career, but the future projects would be unsuccessful, causing America's career to dwindle, and this is where we will leave off on Amanda Bynes. for good.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
As we enter the early 2000s, this is where the ever so popular show Drake and Josh starts. But do you know the dark history this show has to offer? On set of Drake and Josh, an employee, Brian Peck, who was a dialogue coach aboard the set. After bonding with Brian and pushing his own father out of his life, Drake would find himself in the most disturbing and disgusting cases in Nickelodeon history. Drake Bell had decided to stay the night at Brian Peck's residence. Unbeknownst to Drake, there was sexual exploitations over the horizon, because soon after Drake fell into slumber, Brian S.A.'d Drake Bell. Drake awoke, and traumatized by this, his friendship dwindled until a night at Drake's girlfriend's house. While staying late one night, Brian would continuously call Drake about previously made plans. Drake would deny, as he couldn't handle being friends with a man who had done unspeakable acts to himself. A while later, his girlfriend mom takes Drake into another room. Suspicious about him and the phone calls from Brian, she plans a therapy appointment with their household therapist. And that's when the truth becomes revealed. And Brian Peck arrested and charged with multiple crimes, such as lewd acts upon a child, sodomy of a person under 16, attempt sodomy of a person under 16, sexual penetration by a foreign object, 4 separate counts of oral copulation of a person under 16, and oral copulation by anesthesia or controlled substance. In turn, Brian's career onwards was ruined completely. As we move past, we go towards another era of Nickelodeon. Dan grabs the bull by the horns and handles his own career with iCarly, one of, if not the most controversial shows ever aired on Nickelodeon. iCarly was that show. It was extremely popular with immersed fan interaction to level the field of fiction and non. Dan Warp, Dan's own personal blog site, was created around this time. Schneider's personal blog and YouTube channel, where he would often vlog behind the scenes footage of new or old episodes, as well as interviews.
Stop laughing at the director. Show some respect, Jeanette. Respect. No smiling. All right. Take $100 off her check.
It's just the oh man, but it's that attitude.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, oh, man, here we go. All right.
I'll do that.
Okay.
That'd be bad.
What's with the boots? Why is Carly
I
always
know, I'm
wearing
always
boots?
wearing these boots this season.
So she can be in combat at any moment.
I want to wear boots.
What?
I'm becoming shorter and shorter by the week.
You know what? I think everybody's getting tired of your attitude.
Right?
Every actor seen in these videos seems put off when Dan approaches, acting happy, pleased, and even laughing. But through those smiles, there's anxiousness, worry, and fear all towards this one man, and the power he withholds. But Nickelodeon did nothing. But why? Well, iCarly was a huge success, and they didn't want to interfere with the show and the oceans of money it brings in. The key takeaways are interesting. I want to show you some clips. What is extremely weird and off-putting on these scenes.
About this time. This monkey. About this time. This monkey. Moron says that you already know about your surprise party, and I say you don't.
Sam?
Moron says that you already know about your surprise party, and I say you don't.
Sam?
Surprise party.
Sam?
Come on, work the heel. Rub it like a man.
Hey, Doc, I got this weird-looking bump going out of my neck.
I'd imagine one word really comes to mind, or body part. Feet. Almost every scene includes feet. This is not funny. Absolutely nobody thinks feet are this funny, at least this much. But feet are the least of this show's problems, because yet another essay charge would come to light. Martin Weiss, who was a Hollywood manager and worked on iCarly, was accused of molestation from the victim himself. He tried to plead that the kid was interested, although the 30 to 40 counts of molestation overshadowed all of that, sentencing him to a year in prison, with an additional 5 years of probation. Another career down the drain, caused by lewd acts upon another child. As we move on from iCarly, we go to Victorious, as well as Sam and Cat, where yet again Dan would continue his interesting antics. The main actor I want to focus on is Ariana Grande, or Cat from the Sam and Cat TV show. But why? Why do I want to focus on her? Well, if you know Kat's personality in the show, it will make more sense. Kat's main character trait is being the unintelligent loudmouth who says whatever is on her mind. The perfect play toy for Dan to mess with and exploit.
Sometimes I wonder if you can get juice from a potato. Teenage girl to drink water upside down. I'm thirsty. It's not possible.
This is honestly disgusting, especially considering this was broadcasted towards children. Imagine being a parent walking in on this TV show, or hearing it echo from your living room. You would be petrified to think about what your child could be viewing, and to see your child's favorite actor pouring water or squeezing a potato. It seems kid-friendly on the surface.
Hey, it's Boogie. I played T-Bo on Nickelodeon's iCarly. I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program, and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes. Dan, how are you?
I'm okay. I really appreciate you reaching out and giving me the opportunity to talk to you about what we saw over the last 2 nights.
In recent years, Dan was paid his final amount of money owed on his contract, which amounted to $7 million, then was required to leave the team. After the release of Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Children's TV, he responded in a lackluster classic YouTube apology video, yet he avoided most of the accusations. So, to end off, do you think this is Nickelodeon's fault, or one successful businessman turned corrupt?